So Surry on the Go came up as an idea during the pandemic. We were having trouble getting coverage of our local board meetings. Our MIS department was covering the meetings on YouTube, and that was the only way that people could see the board meetings if they weren't attending them. And naturally, you had more people during that era that didn't want to be around other people as much. So YouTube or Facebook Live or WebEx or Zoom became popular then, or more popular, I should say. Well, when this was going on, a random conversation about how to get information out to the public better came up. And I randomly mentioned that I had experience with a PEG channel, and I had previous experience as a public information officer. And that's how it all got started. It developed from there. When I was doing research for Surry on the Go, I knew we would need a preventive maintenance contract. We needed a good AV provider from my previous job experience. I knew there were several to choose from, but I also knew our MIS director had previously worked with ClarkPowell, and you guys were the best and closest option to us. The MIS director liked ClarkPowell, and then I spoke with Lee White, who had worked with our MIS director, and I liked our conversations. And out of a bidding process, if you will, I ended up selecting ClarkPowell over another AV provider. ClarkPowell will work with anyone with audio-visual needs and their budget. That's been important to us because we have a small budget, and I've never once felt like ClarkPowell was, it never felt like a sales pitch. I've also never felt like ClarkPowell is pressuring me or that there was any snootiness at all. And that's important when you have limited funds. And the good thing is that ClarkPowell is very familiar with different options that can still get you from point A to point B. I think that's important. And in the world we live in now with technology, I believe a lot of people think that it takes a large amount of things for a podcast or a video to happen. And things are more condensed now than they used to be. You have more options, so it's opened that up. And ClarkPowell is familiar with small to large, inexpensive to expensive. Just whatever it is you need, they can answer your questions, and you can feel comfortable discussing that with them. So Surry on the Go has used a lot of equipment we've purchased with ClarkPowell's help getting us that equipment. Two pieces of equipment are two large JVC cameras that produce very good quality video images. We also use two iPhones. We're in an era now where smartphones have very good video cameras and still picture cameras on them. They're easy to carry around. We're using those as well. We're also using a GoPro that we purchased with ClarkPowell. We have a Cablecast server which powers our cable channels and our app. You have to have that to do this work. ClarkPowell also helped set us up with two very good Dell PC computers, which are two of our editing bays. One of our employees uses Apple products. ClarkPowell was helpful in providing us knowledge and feedback on how we could integrate that with the two PCs and our Evo server from Studio Network Solutions. ClarkPowell helped us pick out everything we needed for our initial implementation and startup of Surry on the Go. And we plan to work with them more in the future for any of our future needs. And they've also been very great to help us fix anything that we need help with. Well, we've gotten really good feedback from our Board of County Commissioners, our county manager, our county departments, and most importantly from the public, who are our biggest stakeholders when you work in local government. They really enjoy us. Through our app, our cable channel, and our social media, as well as our website, in calendar year 2024, we had over 3 million people view Surry on the Go. And we grew our following on Facebook and YouTube. We're growing every year. We've also discovered some of the things that are local government related that people really want to watch that we didn't know until someone reached out and asked, hey, can you do a story on this? And we did, and it just did huge numbers on social media. It also keeps some stories that are very important to our history alive, and we're also educating a new generation of folks who had never heard those stories. And a lot of people, I had this happen at a coffee shop. I had a Surry on the Go polo shirt on. I walked up and ordered a coffee. And she said, hey, you're Surry on the Go. And she watched a piece we did on some federal funding that the county received. And she told me she didn't know about this funding. She didn't know it helped do these great things in the community. And she said she wouldn't have known that if she wouldn't have watched it on Surry on the Go. And she said she enjoyed watching. So that's the power of it, to keep people educated and informed properly on these public information items.